Hi, so today I'm going to give a demo of the application, of the web application I built for uh, the 699 course. So this is an auction application running on the Ethereum blockchain. So as for the auction application, it's very similar to eBay. So typically there are two roles, sellers and buyers, and sellers are eligible to publish their items want to sell, and the buyers uh, can bid or offering their price for this item. Once the seller feels satisfied with the offer, then the seller can confirm and close the auction, and uh, that's quite of it. And as for the Ethereum blockchain, which means all the data will be published to the Ethereum blockchain. So we don't have a database to holding all this data. Uh, all the data will be there, accessible at the Ethereum blockchain. So I think this should be quite good, works good for an auction application because all the data can be visible to everyone, right? So what the item description is, what the bidding price is it being still open or is being ended? All the info can be public, so don't need to worry. There's no sensitive data for our application. And as the attributes of the blockchain, so it cannot be modified, or I mean, theoretically it cannot be modified. So you don't need to worry that you are viewing some fake data or some the data has been hacked. So everybody can view it. You don't need to worry, and the data you view will be genuine, will be real. Um, and for eBay, I mean, usually you use PayPal or some other way to pay for the auction. Here, for the users using our web applications, they have to install MetaMask. Um, if you are wondering what MetaMask is, just this is an web extension to managing your Ethereum wallets. So as we are using the Ethereum blockchain, of course we don't use the real money to do all the transactions. We use Ether. That's the cryptocurrency provided by the Ethereum network itself. So if you don't familiar with it, just kind of you can think of it as Bitcoin, but running on a different uh, blockchain. Uh, and this MetaMask is a wallet for managing your ethers. So the reason I enforce the users to use this is because of safety. So actually, I continued this project from the 695 course, and there are two major changes from there. So one is that I have deployed it to the real Ringby network. So in 695 course, I was deployed locally. So now it's deployed to the uh, public Ringby Ethereum Ringby network, so everyone can use it. This also includes I deployed my backend server to a public server. So you can see there's a URL for our application, although it's a bit complicated. But I don't apply for a domain for it yet, so yeah, it's a bit complicated, but it can be accessed all over the world now. So yeah, I deployed publicly. And another is I introduced the MetaMask. Um, in 695 course, users have to input their private key directly to our web application in order to use to pay transactions. That would be not so safe, or will be quite risky. think of it as you are using a web application that you are not familiar with, and you're asked to do a checkout. One option is you input your credit card number directly. The other option, you can check out by PayPal. At least for me, I prefer to use PayPal because if you are using credit card number, then you are giving all the info of that credit card number to the application. You don't know whether they'll save that, and if that info get leaked, everyone can use your credit card number to right. So, but for PayPal, then you don't need to worry about that. The web application only gets money from PayPal, and it don't have the permission to collect your PayPal account info or the credit card credit card number info. So it's much safe or riskless to use PayPal when you do the checkout. So same here. Our application, it's used MetaMask because PayPal doesn't support Ethereum right now, so we use MetaMask. But don't worry, MetaMask is quite simple to use, and you can see I opened 3 different web browsers: Chrome, the Edge, and Firefox, and they both have MetaMask web extension. So now, yeah, I mentioned before, I have opened 3 different web browsers. This is because I want to simulate the scenario that different users are using our web applications. So user 1, user 2, and user 3. Okay, so but at the home page, there are no differences. So every user are eligible to view all the auctions published to our web application. So currently there are 4 auctions published. Let's see what happens when you view the detail of an auction. And you can see there are differences now for different users. This is because for user 1, and user 1 the seller of this auction. So for the other 2 users, they are buyers, but now the auction has been completed, so actually they cannot buy or offer a price for it anymore. So they can be, say, they are viewers of this auction now, so they have no operations available for them right now. But for the seller still have the option to update the tracking info. This is because after the item has been confirmed, the seller has to ship the item to the buyer, right? So better they can provide some tracking number to the buyer. So we have that functionality in our application. So even though there's already some tracking info provided, the seller can update the tracking info right now, because in case there's some mistake, some typo when they enter such tracking info to the buyers. For others, they can only view this auction right now. Okay, let's go back to home page and see how to create a new auction. That would be quite simple. Say this user 1 want to publish a new auction, and to publish the new auction, which means they have to publish some data onto the Ethereum blockchain. This would cost them some Ether to do that, and those Ether are paid to miners. These Ether are not related to the start price here. These Ether are only for them to, as a transaction fee, to publish an auction. So no matter what start price is, it will be the same for every seller to publish an auction, and this will be very, very small amount of Ether. You can see this is 0, 0, and so that will be a small amount. But yeah, that's how Ethereum blockchain works. Every transaction you publish to the Ethereum blockchain, you have to pay the miner the gas to have that get published or get recorded onto the blockchain. And also currently the block generate rate is about 15 seconds for one block, so you have to wait the miner to mine this block and append that block to the blockchain, so that will cost some time. But yes, now this has been published right now. Let's see if other users refresh the page, or they are definitely, they can view the new auctions there. And now this user 2 or user 3, they are the buyers or potential buyers now, so they can bid for this auction now. So let's see a buyer to bid for a higher price, and that also cost them some money to do so. I mean, correction, to cost some ether to do so, and it still needs to wait to have that data be recorded onto the blockchain. And now you can see this offer has been confirmed. So you can see the current highest bidding is the 600 offered by user 2, and for user 3, this is also gets refreshed automatically. So you can see it's 600 now. Say if the user 3 want to offer a price but lower than 600. Sorry, I haven't do the error handling right now, but you can see that's not allowed. That works for auction. We always need to offer a higher price for the bidding, right? So say if the user 1, the seller, is satisfied with the current bidding, they can just confirm and end this auction. Yeah, that also takes some time, but let's see. Now you can see the status of chain to confirm right now, and the last step for the other users or for the potential buyers, they cannot bid for it anymore. And last step for the seller is to provide the tracking info for this auction. We just say we just update the tracking info, and that's quite much of it for the whole life cycle of an auction. Yeah, now you can see that shipping info has been updated to other users. So that's quite of it of an auction's life cycle. Of course, there are some other use cases. Say the users can cancel the auction, or the buyer can revoke their biddings, but I'm not going to show it here because I already exceeded the time. Last thing, I just want to show you that I said before, all the data has been published to the Ethereum blockchain. That was on the Ring-B testnet. So the difference is that on the Ring-B testnet, although it used test Ether, so it won't cost real money. You know, currently the real Ether is quite expensive to buy, but on testnet you don't need to worry about that. But only with a small config change, it can be deployed to the real Ethereum networks. But currently, you know, it's on the Ring-B testnet now, and you can see all the transactions there. You can see just several transactions a few minutes. I believe this 2 minutes ago maybe is for the seller to confirm. This 4 minutes ago is for the seller to create the auction. 2 minutes ago is transactions for the seller to confirm the auction, and this 1 minute ago is transaction for the seller to update shipping info. And if you're curious about this user who who is a buyer of such transaction, you can see there's a transaction 4 minutes ago. So that's when the user offering bidding for this auction. So all the data our application gets published to the Ethereum and can be viewed. It's published, so it can be viewed by anyone there. So